here, health officials across the country are now working to ease concern over the possible spread of the hantavirus. But now the Maryland Department of Health is confirming that they are monitoring 2 residents who may have come into contact with someone who was infected on that ship. This, as the virus has already killed 3 people on that cruise while getting many others sick. 7 News' Christian Flores joining us live in Prince George's County. And Christian, are state officials saying anything more about where these 2 people are from?
They're not, as to protect their privacy. Right now, the only details they're releasing are the fact that there are 2 Maryland residents and they're being monitored. Now, that said, we did speak with a doctor who specializes in these kinds of viruses. In fact, she has worked on a vaccine on this in the past, and she says it's highly unlikely that these 2 would have gotten infected. Now that the Maryland Department of Health is monitoring 2 residents who flew on the same plane with a cruise ship passenger infected with hantavirus, residents are also closely watching the situation.
And I'm hoping that these 2 people don't have this and that they're not infected, and that God keeps them in their grace, and then we can move on and not go back and experience what we did back during the pandemic.
It's one of those rare viruses that really, by and large, do not transmit human to human. This is the rare exception.
But Dr. Kirsten Leik says there's no need to panic because the 2 Maryland residents were likely not exposed for long enough.
It's not like COVID. It's not like the measles. It takes being in a closed area for a prolonged period of time. You really need to be symptomatic by and large to be able to transmit. And the person that was on the plane, from my understanding, was not symptomatic. So you never want to say there's 0 risk, but it sounds like this is very, very low risk.
There are still symptoms you should monitor.
Early flu-like symptoms, but they progress, so you can become profoundly short of breath.
This strand of virus is mostly isolated in South America in areas with mice and other rodents.
Most feces, most urine, even most saliva, they can spread on dust, and you can breathe that in inadvertently.
The virus has killed 3 passengers on the cruise and gotten many others sick. Dr. Leik previously worked on a vaccine.
The idea was to kind of develop a vaccine that would be interchangeable for all these types of viruses.
I think that we have learned enough to be able to deal with this.
Now, there have been no hantavirus cases in Maryland since 2019. Even then, it was not this particular strain, which has never been found in the state. Reporting live in Prince George's County, Christian Flores, 7 News.